Last weekend, we visited our friends Tom and Allison in Chicago. And they said, well, while you're here for the weekend, we're going to throw a brunch for all of our friends that's cowboy themed. Cowboy brunch. And when we got there, we were like, whoa, they're really going all out for this brunch with like flowers and lots of different foods. And then when it was officially time for brunch to start, they brought out a banner. Surprise! It was Tom and Allison's wedding. They did a surprise wedding at Cowboy Brunch. The building that this brunch was at has a chapel in it, so we immediately just went into the next room, into the chapel. And there was no photographer because no one knew about surprise wedding, but I had my film camera with me, so I took pictures. Had I known this wedding was happening, I would have had the correct film in the camera, but I just went with the film that was already in the camera. I had like 10 frames of Ilford 400 vintage tone, which is why it's like this warm tone. But I had a full roll of Cinestill 400. It has this like white vignette around the edges. There was very low light in the space, so I pushed the film, which means that it was underexposed and then overdeveloped. And that means that just the tiniest amount of light on the film is gonna really show up in a big way. And something that can happen with Cinestill film is that you get piping, where light travels down the film. But it does give these photos a very vintage 70s filmy look. They're almost dreamlike, and it almost looks like a Photoshop filter, but it's not. And honestly, I just think it's better than nothing, right? I mean, I think these are exactly the photos you're supposed to get when you are serving communion to a space cowboy in the Chapel of the Holy Grail at your secret wedding brunch. And then after the wedding, we had our brunch. You can see my son here, dressed as a cowboy. The cutest cowboy in all the land. I gotta say, surprise wedding is my favorite. And I think this is a one-time thing for me. I am not interested in being a wedding photographer. That being said, I am proud of this picture here. I think this one came out great.